Hey, before we start, I want to say sorry for the camera quality, and it's gonna be my first time editing videos. For this project, I decided to do a review on this book called What's Left of Me by Kat Zhang. And just from looking at the title, it reminded me of the essential question of what makes us who we are. So the story plot is actually about in this world, in this different kind of dimension and everything, the normal people are born with two souls in one body. And before the age of 10, people are supposed to settle, which means that one of the souls disappear completely, permanently, and then the other dominant soul continues to live on in life. And that's the problem with the two main characters, Addie and Eva. They never settled, actually, and when people don't settle, they label them as hybrid. But no one knows that they're hybrid. They actually had some problem at the age of 12. They never settled till the age of 12, and Addie was supposed to be dominant, and Eva disappears. But Eva never actually did, and she was always trapped in their minds, unable to move. And then 3 years later, they met some friends, Brian and Devon, Haley and Lisa. They were also hybrid. And they tried to help Eva control her body again, start to move again. But in the end, they were shipped off to a medical center that tries to kill off their dominant soul. So this book was actually really good. It's actually more than what I expected. I was looking for this book since the beginning of the year because I saw the book trailer. When we watched the book trailers together, I was already interested in this book. And I finally found it. And it's great that I had this chance to do a book review for this book because I really want other people to read this book. It's super good. So the genre of this book is dystopia, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. It's science fiction and also young adults. There's actually not much romance. That's really different. This is actually a first for me. Usually when you read young adult, it's usually romance based. But it's really good even without the romance. It caught my attention without the romance too. So it's a different experience for me. And the writing style is also really easy to follow and understand. It was easy to imagine and picture the things happening. There was a lot of descriptions and everything, and you could understand the feelings of the characters, and the feelings were really realistic. It actually moved me to tears at some point. The understanding and friendship and everything, the bond between the sisters. Yeah, I guess they're sisters. Yeah, it was really good. And some essential questions we can connect this to are what makes us who we are. Again, the title itself reminds you of what makes us who we are, and is power real or perceived? Are we under too much pressure? And a little bit of what leads to the rise and fall of civilization. This connects to what makes us who we are because there was a lot of mentioning about oh, I'm Eva and I'm Eva through and through, and there's a lot of quotes about being yourself, being Eva, being Addie, and there were two different personalities in one body, so it actually really fits with what makes us who we are. It's really hard to explain, actually. It just has this connection, but I don't know how to explain it. Is power real or perceived? Because the medical center they were taken away by was actually controlled by the government, and it was they were basically in a prison, I guess. So it was is power real or perceived? It was actually really, in my opinion, I think the power was real because there was a lot of pressure on the parents, and that also leads to, are we under too much pressure? because they were so under so much pressure, and they were like, the parents, if they wanted to let the children go, or the children were like pressured to do things they didn't want to do. Like, they were trapped in like a prison, and basically, and they were forced to take these tests, and there's like surgeries and everything. It was actually really chaotic. So that relates to pressure, and it's how real or perceived, like the government were controlling people's minds, and like mental pressure on the parents, also stress and mental pressure for the kids too. And what leads to the rise and fall of a civilization connects to this is because Addie and Eva found out a little secret about America. America is actually the only country that has no hybrids. Like the other countries, they're all hybrid. So it's actually pretty weird, and they found out a little secret about why that is happening. And that might lead to the fall of a civilization, because if word gets out, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of fights, war against the government. Pretty sure that's gonna happen. So, yeah, I think that's it. It's kind of hard to explain the connections, but I really hope you read this book. It's actually really good. Like, connections aside, it's actually really good. Yeah, thank you.